little and win something great. Has
their lives ruined because of it.
By the way, can I just say how much of a mess this Jake Paul video is? Just watch this part right here.
Jake Paul, teacher diss.
This is Jake Paul's vision of teachers, that they hate kids and they're mean.
Bruh, Jake, how the fuck a teacher write a better chorus than you, dog? You suck! That I'm hoping that the parents who came to the shows were finally able to witness firsthand the kind of shitty influence that this Team 10 group has on the people who watch their videos.
Oh! Diss track about
Ew! What the fuck?
Ah, shit. May as well take some pictures for the gram, as you kids say. I was really hoping to die in a subway at the end of my life, but yeah, this is close enough. I guess I'll live with this. Wait, no, I won't. I'll be dead. Well, seeing as I don't like opening up emotionally, and neither of us happen to bring Dragon Ball Z Monopoly, I guess I'm gonna have to pass the time by talking about the catalyst for this entire scenario, the patient zero for Jake Paul's newfound anti-bullying campaign fervor, and I called that one kid's music shit once, so here I am. I'm sure by now that you're aware that the confrontation happened, the confrontation in quotation marks bolded and in italics, with our contestants being a man who completely lacks remorse for the continuous negative influence he has on kids that watch him across the globe. And also, Cody was there, and that was pretty cool. Hey, can I get an autograph, dude? It wasn't the strangest thing I saw that day, and I don't mean surrealist strange, like a clock face melting. I mean, like, I know they both exist, and they're both real, but I could never picture a scenario where they actually physically met. I didn't think it was possible. It's like the Hadron Collider. And because I first saw it on Twitter with heavy editing, I found it very hard to distinguish what the context was, what the flow of the conversation was. I had so many questions, like, why was Cody there? Why was Jake there? Why is Jake being so weird and off, and that's how he usually is. I just forgot about it. Let's be honest, if you saw a man that looks like Jake Paul just on the street under an overturned shopping trolley drinking a VB and yelling at the cracks in the pavement, you wouldn't be surprised. He just has a very specific aura of being weird. The best way I can describe this aura is like watching those scenes from American Psycho where Patrick Bateman is becoming more and more unnerving and unhinged as he leads up into a kill, but it's just been that lead up for the past 3 years and he hasn't murdered anyone that we know of. I wouldn't put it past him. He's just gonna snap at some point.
You're gonna take the kid and you're gonna kill him!
It is kind of weird how I would immediately accept the fact that Jake murdered someone because I believe he's 100% capable of that, but the one thing I never expected from him was to actually confront a human being in real life, instead of just talking about them on Twitter or mentioning them in a YouTube video, which is what he does most of the time. And now you will see why, because him confronting people just doesn't work, because he's dumb. This isn't the first time Jake has been vaguely anti-bully or anti-negative influence on kids kind of stuff. So, in solidarity of his braveness, I will be putting my own head on the chopping block like he has, and supporting anti-sadness. Because fuck sadness, am I right, guys? I know I sound incredibly facetious and dismissing when Jake seems to want to talk about something that is genuinely serious in this day and age, which cyberbullying. It is a very serious issue now in the current climate, but much like everything else in this fucked up life, it is completely hollow. It is a failed attempt to seem cooler or nicer than he actually is. He doesn't actually give a shit. You can just tell this because he changed his name on Twitter to like End Cyberbullying 2019. Like that's such a brave stance, like he's going to get mocked for being anti-cyberbully because it's such a hard thing to do. He's so brave. It is genuinely the fucking equivalent to changing your Facebook icon to have a transparent flag of whatever country just got hit by a terror attack. It's just like the least that you could possibly actually fucking do. Also, as a side note, while we're on the topic of his Twitter, he just tweeted out that he's looking for an audio engineer for Team 10 that is completely unpaid because, obviously, He's not a millionaire or anything. He can't afford to pay an intern who's doing an audio engineering job, which is extremely hard, anything more than $0. The most memorable example for me of him being loosely, vaguely, kind of, almost anti-cyberbully on the internet was his YouTube star diss track, which starts off with the words, "This isn't a diss track, so I'm disappointed," on multiple levels, and it's like 3 seconds in. Wow, new record. This video, to many, came off as quite conceited to an almost delusional extent, because he seemed to brush off any kind of criticism, valid or otherwise, as nothing more than hate, lies, and rumors, while also seeming to imply that the bad stuff that he's done, all of this bad stuff, is not actually that bad, because he wasn't a cock for 5 minutes straight. Wow, completely redeemed. Giving out dinners on Thanksgiving for kids, that's genuinely nice. That is a nice thing to do. You know, teaming up with teachers to hand out backpacks to kids hasn't aged well, and it's your fault that it hasn't aged well. This is how he continues to justify himself to his child audience. Like, oopsie daisy, I tried to directly scam kids by making them actually start gambling, which is illegal in many places. But, oh, I gave these kids these backpacks that have my merch logo on them. So backpack up that attitude and fuck off. Unfortunately, he hasn't actually in any way atoned, repented, or another fancy Christian word for any of his past sins. He's just ignored them, which is a brilliant strategy if you're the only person on Earth with a brain, but he may be the only person on Earth without one. So it didn't exactly work that well, and everyone still perfectly remembers everything that's happened, which is really why you shouldn't title a video something like "Confronting Internet Bully, Cody Co, ellipses." The only good thing about it is that the description is technically correct. His face is priceless, but for me, not for Jake. You know, the soft smile with the glazed over eyes that really shows he isn't paying attention because he really doesn't have to. He's probably just thinking to himself, Jake's gonna get fucking destroyed when he releases this. I should get Taco Bell for dinner. And that's it. He's done. He's finished. The video starts in classic vlog fashion, with the flash forward showing the events later on in the vlog. That is the climax or whatever actually relates to the title to hook you in, and so that you watch the entire vlog. What I can't explain to you is why it's blue. Like really fucking blue. My best guess is that the color grader on this, or the color corrector, whatever you want to call him, was working on it and then got beaten to death with the keyboard he was working on, and whatever keys mashed against his face as it was breaking, that's what happened, and then they just left it like that. Is it to add more tension to this dramatic scene? Is it to hide the inept camera work that continuously shows its face in all of Jake's vlogs, where if you take a frame from any of them, more than half of the scene will be completely blown out because apparently none of them know what ISO is, or exposure, or what a fucking camera is at this point. I really wish I could tell you, but as stated before, color grade is probably dead somewhere. And yeah, the flash forwards, that's interesting and everything, but what actually matters is when the vlog actually starts, because Jake sits down and starts talking. His one weakness.
There's a douchebag named Cody Co, and we are about to f his life up. Is that a good intro?
God, Jake, please! Oh, have some mercy. Oh, his channel's dead. Yeah, no, unsurprisingly, Jake did not kill Cody's channel. His fans did not cancel him. In fact, Cody is doing straight up numbers right now because all these people went over to his channel and just realized, wait, this man is funnier than Jake. Way cooler. I'm going to subscribe to him. And there they did. That's what they did. Congratulations, Jake. You played yourself. Honestly, I was totally expecting this to happen. What I wasn't expecting is the fact that Jake kind of stunted his own sub growth for like a few days. I really genuinely wasn't expecting that.
I'm about to confront like one of my biggest haters, 20 28-year-old wannabe comedian Cody Ko. Or I saw this Cody Ko guy for the first time when he was working at Fullscreen, which is like a YouTube community network, as like a little back-end tech developer.
Quick fire session. The term you're looking for is critic because they base their reasoning off objective things, while a hater usually despises someone for more subjective reasonings, and you are objectively worse than most average people, and some criminals even. I would just say that. You're worse than some criminals. Quick fire session 2 reloaded. He's not a 28-year-old wannabe comedian. He's a 28-year-old comedian. He's pretty successful at it. He's doing well for himself. He's a funny guy. Also, he wasn't a little back-end tech guy. He was a software engineer. That's a pretty lofty title in many people's eyes, including my own. Software engineers do some really hard work. They work long hours. I studied to be a software engineer for like a year and a half before I just realized I didn't really like it. But I still have a lot of respect for the people that went through with it because it is a very hard thing to do. They put in a lot of hours, and it requires a lot of skill to do. And Jake, on the other hand, screams and sets shit on fire in his pool. So I don't think he has any right to judge.
I'm not YouTube's hero. I'm not here to like save the day and...
Really? Because that seems to be exactly what you're trying to do. Just poorly and not very subtly. There's no other reason for Jake to do this, like at this time exactly, or using Cody as the scapegoat. There's not really a reason there, other than the fact that he's criticized Jake in the past and he may still be salty about that. But even then, the last video that he made of him was like almost a year old now. It's a really long time to wait. The only real reason Jake has to do this is that it makes him look kind of better in the eyes of the parents of his fans, so that they buy his merch more because they're like, oh, he's anti-cyberbullying, I'm anti-cyberbullying. We're intrinsically linked. Okay, so this is what Jake says is the reason that he's making the video on Cody specifically right now. This is the real reason, so just listen close.
Largely in part to do with these negative trolls online that just spread negativity into the earth. I fucking hate it. I don't understand it, and I want to like put a voice up against it to maybe start a conversation about how we can stop it, and maybe not support these types of people who are literally causing the youth to be like negative and have like a lot of animosity in their souls.
Firstly, shut up, boomer. Goddamn, nobody speaks like that anymore. Nobody uses the term troll in that context. That's just, it's weird. He is a year older than me, and I feel like he witnessed the fucking moon landing. God. Now, some of what he says almost kind of makes sense to him if you really don't think about it. When he says, oh, I hate channels that only make videos that just, they're full of hate. There's a little ball of hate. I love that term. Little ball of hatred. What he's referring to is commentary channels, but the words of the youth are just too far beyond his arthritis-ridden hands. While being incredibly stupid, he is allowed to say this because he doesn't have a commentary channel. He doesn't make commentary videos. He's too busy making shit content. But where it gets kind of weird is when he starts talking about the vague general sense of being a negative influence on kids, because it's exactly what he does. It could have been so easy to not be this massive of a hypocrite in his own video, but it also could have been really easy to not take that money from a weird, sketchy Chinese company to scam kids for money. But you've made your bed, now you have to eat it. That's not how the saying goes. The rest of this video is very, very, very uncomfortable to watch, and I don't mean because it's 17 minutes of him talking shit about someone I'm actually a fan of. That's not the reason. It stems from his weird, uncomfortable, stunted delivery. At no point throughout the entirety of this video did I ever feel even slightly that Jake started a sentence knowing where it was going to end, because he was probably just winging it. Even in the big finale, the climax, where it all goes down, he's so awkward and uncomfortable. I have never seen someone barge into a room with that much force, having such a strong agenda, and still look like the person that was caught off guard?
For real, like there's kids out there, like I've met girls who you've like gone in on, and like I don't f with it. I don't need to bring up their names to cause drama for them. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But like that shit that you do, like you sitting in front of camera, like actually like can resonate into people's hearts, and like.
And it's not even just weird when he's actually like talking to people. The pacing and the structure of the video is also incredibly off. Like it starts off with him talking about Cody, mainly rambling, and then it moves on to him kind of reacting to his content, but the examples that are used don't make any sense. They're not really that strong of an argument. Then it moves into the video that was filmed, the climax and all of that, where he confronts Cody. And then moves into him reacting to what we just saw. And then a conclusion. It's just a complete mess. I don't even know what's going on. And even when the video gets all cinematic and important and there's cameramen and all of this, the aura of that room just feels like a 5-year-old reprimanding you for jaywalking on an empty street. Jake, despite being the big man here and catching him off guard, has no power. He's just completely awkward. And because he keeps stumbling over his words like a drunk teleprompter, everything he says either doesn't make sense, is completely redundant, or is hypocritical. And those are the only 3 options. My favorite one is just at the end, and just watch this and see if you can get what I'm going for.
The sad part about it is that I think the only way he will change, like maybe his processes or his thoughts on everything, is if he faces enough backlash. I believe that social media creators won't change if they are a bad person unless they receive enough backlash.
Essentially, he's saying that he confronted Cody because calling people out and canceling them and making them feel bad on the internet will make them change. That's what happened to his brother Logan. He got called out for doing something bad and something stupid that influences kids badly, and Logan's better now. Jake firmly believes in that. That's why he's going after Cody. Unfortunately, what he just said aptly describes in every single fucking way the genre of commentary, which is what he's calling out. What the fuck? There are big differences though between Jake's commentary and Cody's commentary. The main one being that Cody's funny and charismatic, but the second one being that Cody isn't malicious. He's not making videos on these people because he hates them or he thinks they're stupid, at least most of the time. When he's just making it on someone that's unknown, it's usually just placing hypothetical scenarios or hypothetical character traits onto the people in the video to make jokes and make people laugh. It is not a malicious thing. It is just for comedy's sake. He says this in the video. To anyone with more than 5 brain cells, Cody's channel is very clearly not a channel designed around bullying people or making people feel bad or anything. Like, where is the bullying? Is it here? Is it here? Maybe it's over here if you fucking squint long enough that you start hallucinating, but honestly, I don't fucking know anymore. I'm obviously not the only person that have made these points, or have made these insults, or made these jokes, but I am the only person that's done it looking this damn good. Sorry, that was weird. Anyway, someone who's made very similar points to me is a man called Maddie Smokes. Now, who is Maddie Smokes? Well, you see, in one of Cody's videos called That's Cringe Vape Hotbox, they talk about a video called Vape Hotbox by one Maddie Smokes. Wow, what a surprise. So someone who is directly laying the smack down on Jake Paul is one of the people that Jake says was bullied by Cody. It's Maddie fucking Smokes, dude. And I think that just wraps up this entire scenario really neatly. So if you enjoyed watching this, like, subscribe, notification bell on, so I can tell that you like this and that you enjoy it, because I enjoyed making it. Even though I've had to record this video 4 fucking times, and if the audio is shit in this, I'm sorry, but I'm not changing it. I've had problems every single time. I've been trying to make this for like 3 days. Jesus Christ.